People ask Reddit. What sexual fantasy you would love to explore in real life, but don't have the courage to? I watch porn sometimes, and one thing I ran across was bicycle with a dealer built into the seat that moves when you pedal the bike. I want one lol smile. But not even sure where to start to look. Edit, I didn't expect all this, I'm mainly being silly lol, but thanks for the awards. Smile. I'm a very short guy, 5'2", and I find myself very attracted to tall women 6 feet plus, with a fair amount of heft, think an Amazon. I want her to ride me hard. 2 things really get me here. 1. I'm very timid around girls I find crazy attractive. 2. I fear a crushed pelvis. Sex with my work crush at the office with an audience of selected other coworkers. Unfortunately, HR frowns on that sort of thing. Hi, Rob here. As head of HR at, fill in your company name here, we've discussed your proposal and we are happy to inform you that we accept your request. We've taken the liberty to block half of the coffee room for you from 14.00 till 16.00. Note, please don't use the cake on the table, that's for Amanda's retirement party that's also from 14.00 till 16.00. Honestly, I want my girl to take full advantage of me, but she's a sub and I can't handle the whole thing, especially if she asked for details. I'm just into the fantasy as a one-time thing, not that I want to do it. But like genuinely just take it without my consent, and it will be okay. Be girl, please don't attack me for my kink. Honestly, I just really want to experience that look again. You know when you glance at someone and see how much they want you and immediately your mind starts racing with thinking of what they want to do to you. I would like to be spanked by someone who is really into it. My fella is a kind, gentle man and I love that about him. But all he will give me is a couple of smacks. I want to burn. I would like just one selfish sex. Not always, but for a special occasion to be treated to everything I like and not be focused on ensuring everyone is having a good time. Always wanted to be with a woman just once. I know I'd be way too shy and wouldn't go through with it. I'm straight and not single, he knows and says I'm free to if the opportunity ever presents itself. Women are just so attractive. Predator and prey dynamics. Kind of like hide and seek in a large outdoor area, but when the prey is found they absolutely have to submit to what the predator wants. Honestly, just having my wife want to do more than just effing lie there once a month, or less often is the case. She's just gone completely cold on me and the only affection I get are like goodbye pecks and the occasional nighttime cuddles if she's cold. She's just unilaterally cut off 95% of all intimacy and it's slowly killing me. I like the idea of being naked around friends. Around girls, mostly just hanging out with an erection, not sex stuff. Maybe mutual masturbation. Just like the freedom of it. No idea which of my friends I would ask or even how I would go about it. Sometimes I even think about being like a naked waiter for a bunch of women. But I really wouldn't have the courage for that. Anything to do with me, being in charge. I'm not like wanting to tie you down and just ride you or anything. I'd love to just have someone blindfolded, possibly tied up. Just having some one-on-one time with his dick and balls. Maybe even but growing up I was in the society in which it was taboo. If a woman is fully in charge and I'm sacred, I'd bring it up and a guy would think it was weird or something. Made a throwaway for this one because, well, you'll see. I'd like to try what's called consensual non-consent, CNC for short. It's a consensual, pre-discussed kink where one partner basically pretends to not be consenting, or pretending to be asleep, or pretending not to want it. Something about fighting against someone, kicking, spitting, screaming, and them still having their way with me gives me chills. It should be obvious, but I must state that no, I don't want to be raped. I want to indulge in something consensual with a partner who I know, am attracted to and trust, where I pretend to be non-consenting and I fight back against them. Safe word that both of us can use if one gets too uncomfortable with the situation, obviously. And obligatory statement that I don't condone rape because I don't. It's a terrible thing that no one should ever have to go through. Please don't think ill of people who do CNC play, as the key word is consent, and people who have this kink go in with the knowledge that there is consent in the situation and no one is actually being sexually assaulted. Sorry for the wall of text, but I know someone will try to come for me on this. Anonymous sex. The thought of it is such a turn on, but it's way too risky to actually go through with. Sex with another woman. I'm fairly certain I'm bisexual, but have never really explored it, and right now I'm in a relationship with a man I love very much and plan to marry. So, probably will never happen unless he dies or we go and have a threesome in our older years. So like, this is so weird. Being tied up and blindfolding to a chair. But she has a knife, sharp or dull, and she just drags it across my body telling me what she's going to do with it. I don't want her to hurt me obviously, no stabbing or gashes please, but even like a small cut would be fine. Then like, molest me I suppose you would call it, even like punching me in the face or chest. Like I'm being interrogated. I'd happily do it if my girl asked me if I wanted to, but I'm honestly worried what she'd think of me if she knew I would enjoy something like that. Sex in a bouncy castle. It'd be so much fun. I'd love to do such thing, wouldn't you too, hon? Thank you for existing, cause you're the woman of my dreams. So hurry up and mount me already. And boost my self-esteem. We can run and play and bounce like we're Mars rovers. And then we can settle down and make a big mess all over. The owner might get mad and charge us for the damage done. But screw that guy baby, don't let him ruin our fun. Galaxy Stargraph. Forced sex, and having someone fuck me in front of my partner. My wife and I did this with one of my best friends who she got to be friends with as well just by being around him a lot as my friend. Not the forced sex part, but definitely the sex part. It blew the lid off our sex life. We went from a 6 to an 11 on a scale of 1 to 10. Hottest shit I've ever seen to this day. Had no idea that was a kink I'd enjoy, but, wow. Oh, she of course enjoyed it. This story is a broad stroke with a lot of details I did not include such as open communication. But totally worth it for both of us. I hope I don't regret writing this but. Friend's mom. I have this really good childhood friend, and ever since I went through my big change in puberty, around 16, which was also around the time of her divorce, his mom changed her entire attitude towards me. She's basically flirting with me every time we meet now, and she keeps saying that if she was my age she'd be all over me. I'm 18 now, anyways I'm 100% sure after 2 years of this that she is in fact hitting on me, and I'm not influenced by porn. If anything, she is, acting all MS Stifler like that. Also she looks really good for a woman her age and I do that, but out of respect and love for my friend I can't hurt him like that and break his trust. Role reversal. Basically in most aspects of the relationship I'd be the little spoon and the girl would be the big spoon. Not exclusively, but it would be cool to be the one pursued every now and then. I've always wanted to be tied up and also deal with sensory deprivation. Being covered in latex so that my sense of touch is heightened. It sounds really nice but I just don't want to have a panic attack when I won't be able to speak. It seems so fun but also terrifying at the same time. I always drive by this local stadium. I would never want to do it while people are there, but sneaking in the middle of the night and doing it on the 50-yard line sounds amazing. I'm a lesbian, but to be honest the idea of being the cum dump in a bukkake-style event surrounded by masculine-ass men sounds incredibly enticing to me. But I'd never feel safe doing that even with my girlfriend. Watching women struggle in the fitting room of a clothing store. It's not just that I don't have the courage, it's also wildly unethical to the point that I'd never attempt anything like it. But it would indeed be very satisfying sexually. I would love to see my wife get gangbanged by other women. Nothing is hotter to me than thinking of her in pure ecstasy, but it's always from my face in her crotch and I'd love to just be able to watch it happen. Girls going down on her, strap-on action, all of it, but I just want to be able to sit and watch it live. Being tied up really securely by a group of 2 to 3 people, and having them like, strategize as to the best way to restrain me, out loud, but at the same time, having all of them be warm, hands-on, and intimate about it. Like, sweetie, we're your friend, and that's why we have to go with the completely overkill pretzel hog tie. The thought of being patiently restrained into absolute helplessness and kept that way by people I trust is just an absolute turn on, no matter what. Sadly, I'm not as flexible as I was in my early 20s, and finding people I can literally trust with my life isn't something that comes around more than once a decade. Have romantic sex with my partner in his 4WD in an isolated area on a warm summer night with a nice view of the stars or city lights. Too specific? Losing my towel in a locker room, leaving me exposed to any of the men in there to laugh or tease me for my smaller junk. If anyone in there also compared or took and shared pictures with the intent of humiliating me, then that would make it even better. Highly unrealistic, and too non-consensual to ever do, but a fun thought regardless. Barebacking with strangers at a club, cinema, or even in some public place like a parking lot or a park at night. I'm very well aware that this is a very real fetish practiced everywhere, but so are STDs. And condoms don't really give that sloppy second/third/fourth/fifth/10th feel. Honestly, so I graduated 2 years ago now and am living in a new place out of home. I was walking down the street when I see my old history teacher. She is about 42 and a really good looking. I always had a thing for her and she is single. We kinda hit it off while talking and now I'm going to see her at her place this coming weekend. I honestly hope it goes well. Serious. I think the biggest thing that I haven't done yet because I don't have the courage to is probably a random hookup with a guy. I'd enjoy doing it. I've been with a guy before and enjoyed it. Being a bottom is great, and I'd love to explore more submissive stuff as a bottom, but I always get freaked out about a random one-night stand and don't do it. Of course, I also freak out about random one-night stands with women, so I'm not doing a double standard. I would like to get pegged and a few other things related to BDSM, plus maybe some water sports, but I've always been too nervous to discuss them with IRL people. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.